It's all about policy, right? And to discuss that, let's bring into the stream two reporters. We have Tara Golshan, who is a HuffPost politics and policy reporter, as well as Andrew Romano, who is a Yahoo News correspondent. I want to start first with you, Tara. And we heard the president talk about so much we have to do all at once. So as the Biden administration rolls out its policy, we know immigration immediately on deck. What else is coming our way?
It seems the favorite phrase in the Capitol building right now is that we have to walk and chew gum at the same time, and it is very true. Last week we saw that the Biden transition team rolled out their plan for COVID-19 relief and the economic relief. I think that is looming very, very large over this administration coming in. Of course, we saw all of their executive orders that they unveiled this morning, including a 100-day mask challenge. But a lot of this work is going to have to go through Congress. And so last week, they unveiled a proposal that would increase unemployment insurance benefits for jobless Americans and extend that through the fall. That would add an additional $1,400 to the direct payments to kind of even that out at $2,000 for Americans. That would put a lot of funding for education, for schools to reopen safely, for vaccine rollout, to extend the eviction moratorium. So all these things that will make some progress to make Americans whole as they struggle during the pandemic. Those are at the forefront of what the Biden administration is coming into power looking forward to doing.
Going to you now, Andrew, I'm a little bit curious your thoughts on something that we kind of picked up on a little bit with Congressman Watts, which is the future of the Republican Party and how it's going to interact with President Biden. I'm curious to know how you view Trumpism impacting the Republican Party and how that's going to impact the relationship with the new president.
It's a fascinating question. I mean, that's the big question for the GOP right now. Essentially, the party has been cleaved in two by Trump. As he leaves office, he takes with him a very loyal base. We see this in polls. The Republican base still approves of Trump, 80% or more. He threatens to start his own party. We saw a report in the Wall Street Journal about him discussing at least the idea of a patriot party of his own, a third party. And on Capitol Hill, you have people like Mitch McConnell, the leader of Senate Republicans, saying that Trump bears responsibility for the attack on the Capitol, saying behind the scenes that he thinks impeachment is a good idea because it will allow the party to move past Trump. But the question is how? How does the party get past Trump if he's still out there rallying his base, causing trouble? I think the question of his access to platforms is going to be really interesting in this regard. Obviously, he's been banned from Twitter. He doesn't have that megaphone. How much can he kind of hold hostage the party when he doesn't have the same sort of speakers, the same sort of access to people that he had before? I think that's going to be a big question for the GOP going forward, whether they can kind of break their ties with him and move forward. But he remains the most popular politician in the Republican Party. And that is going to present problems, not just for the GOP as they try to navigate, but for Joe Biden as he tries to get through multi-trillion-dollar rescue and recovery packages through a Congress where he has to rely in large, at least in some measure, on Republican cooperation. So it is a really tricky puzzle, both for the GOP and for Biden going forward.
All right. I want to thank Tara Golshan, HuffPost politics and policy reporter, as well as Andrew Romano, Yahoo News correspondent, for joining us.